Americans are afraid to go to the hospital if they don't have insurance, not because they fear the doctors, but because a single visit has the capability to destroy the savings of an entire lifetime. But you might be thinking, especially in Kerala, we are safe, we have the Kerala model. Wrong. Because while we were sleeping, a silent invasion took place. It wasn't soldiers crossing a border, it was a wire transfer from Wall Street to Kochi. The same financial giants who turned the US healthcare system into a nightmare have now bought the hospitals where we and our parents get treated. Look at the names. This is not a conspiracy, this is a public record. Aster Medicity, Kim's Health, Baby Memorial Hospital in Calicut, and Mitra. These are no longer just Kerala hospitals. Kim's is now controlled by Blackstone, the largest asset manager in the world. They have acquired majority stakes in Baby Memorial. Aster is being privatized by global consortiums. If these American companies are pouring billions into Kerala because our healthcare market is a gold mine, why are our government hospitals still left to rot? If there is no such profit in treating Malayalis, why is the public sector pleading poverty? By the end of this video, you'll see why the price of a bed suddenly is higher than a 5-star hotel. You will realize that to these giants, we are no longer patients, we are customers in a global supermarket. Welcome to the Unmasked Indian. You are hearing Chandni. Today, we decode the financialisation of health or the Illuminati behind these hospitals. Let's start with the monopoly. Let's look at the data. Let's unmask the names properly. When a doctor runs a hospital, they worry about the patient. When a private equity firms own a hospital, they worry about the shareholder. And right now, the shareholders are taking over. First, Aster. For a long time, we saw this as a Gulf literary success story. But look deeper. Massive interest from private equity have always been there, and now the move to privatize it completely changed the game. Decisions are moving away from local doctors to global boardrooms. But the most important one is Kim's Health. You know, it's a household name, but recently Blackstone, a company that manages over $1 trillion globally, made a massive move through their platform Quality Care. They have effectively taken control. Why does this matter? Because Blackstone doesn't just buy one hospital, they buy the whole ecosystem. Watch now the web spreads to Calicut. Baby Memorial Hospital, a legendary institution built by a local doctor. Recently, Kim's Health, which is backed by Blackstone, acquired a majority stake reported to be around 70% in Baby Memorial. So, do you see this chain? Blackstone owns the platform owns Kim's, and Kim's eats BMS. And Mitra Hospital, another world-class facility. This too sits in the middle of this high-stakes games where investment giants like KKR have shown deep interest in the region's networks. In business school, they call this consolidation. They say we are creating synergies, but for you and me, the patient, it means monopoly. When 4 or 5 giant American funds owns the entire ecosystem of Kerala's private healthcare, competition dies, and when competition dies, they dictate the price. Now let's go back to that warning which I told you at the start, the paradox. We hear about thousands of crores flowing into Kerala's healthcare. Blackstone is investing, KKR is watching, Team Sec is involved. There is so much money in the system. So I have to ask this again. Why are our government hospitals still in this state? While private equity upgrades their lobbies to look like airports, our medical colleges struggle for basic maintenance. While corporate hospitals import robotic surgeons, our government doctors are overworked, underpaid, and handling patient loads that are humanly impossible. Think about it. If the government hospitals were world-class, if they were efficient, if they had zero waiting time, would you ever go to a corporate hospital and pay 5 lakhs for a surgery? The answer will be definitely a no. For the private equity model to succeed, the public sector must appear to fail, or at least it must remain inconvenient enough that the middle class is forced to choose the premium option. In between these two, the aggressive American investor and negligent government, the common man sweats. Now let me explain the private equity model using a simple analogy. Imagine a house flipper. Blackstone did this in the US housing market. They buy a house, do some cosmetic repairs, increase the rent by 50%, and sell it to the next guy in another 3 to 5 years. They are doing the same with our hospitals. They have a target internal rate of return of 20 to 25%. So, to get that return, they cannot just treat patients, they have to optimize this treating. So, what does this optimization look like? There are three. First, the test trap. Doctors are often under subtle pressure. When it comes, they can say that MRI scan or the full body panel, is it medical necessity or is it because the diagnostic lab is high margin profit center? 2. The bed turnover. If you are a tenant in their bed, if you can pay, you might stay in the ICU longer than needed. If you can't, bed is discharged too early. Price inflation. Have you noticed how the cost of consumables like gloves, syringes, masks is often triple the MRP on your hospital bill? That is the PE markup. They strip the hospital of its soul and replace it with a calculator. And who pays the difference? It's we. However, in America, the cost average of heart procedure is massive. In Kerala, it is currently lower, but the trend is moving up. That bridge will gap. But above all this, there's a chance that we can say, I have health insurance, I am safe, but are you? This is where the trap snaps shut. In West, the healthcare system is broken because of the unholy marriage between hospitals and insurance companies. Kerala is walking into the exact same trap. As hospital costs rise, insurance premiums rise. Soon, very soon, you will see network hospitals. The insurance company will say, we will only pay if you go to this Blackstone-owned hospital. It is not that far. If you don't stop this, here is the Kerala of 2030. Independent clinics gone. They cannot compete with the giants. Family doctors extinct. They will become salaried employees with sales calls. A simple fever that will require at least INR 5,000 rupees admission protocol package. They are turning healthcare into a luxury product. Like a Starbucks coffee, if you have the money, you get the best. If you don't, good luck. So, what is the solution? Are we really helpless? We need to ask the government of Kerala some hard questions before it is too late. Why is there no cap on foreign ownership in critical life-saving infrastructure? Why are we allowing a monopoly to form that can dictate the price of our survival? And for us, we have three more questions. We need to check the ownership. Before we go for a planned surgery, Google who owns the hospital. Support independent hospitals. If there is a good hospital run by a local doctor or a cooperative society, support them. They are our only shield against this monopoly. Demand estimates. Ask for the detailed cost breakdown before admission. Just as the British formed the British East India Company to rule India, global finance has formed companies to manage our own hospitals. They realize that while you might stop buying cars or clothes for a recession, you will never stop spending money to save your father's life. They are banking on your fear. It is time we stopped being afraid and started asking questions. Please record your opinions and doubts related to this video in the comments below. Have you faced inflated bills? Tell us. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, signing off, Chandni from the Unmasked Indian. Fearless, unbiased and unfiltered. Stay tuned.